There are two types of muscular imbalances that exist within the neck, being front to back and side to side. In this video, I will teach you exactly how to correct both of these imbalances, starting off with front to back. So here's the deal. The vast majority of you guys who have this problem, it comes from years of bad posture habits that evolved into forward head posture. Rarely do I ever see guys who have really good neck posture. It's typically this, right? The hillbilly effect, if you will, where your head is completely bent forward like this. It comes primarily from sitting down too long with your upper body hunched forward. In particular, the upper back rounding forward. Here's what you must understand. Thoracic kyphosis is coupled with forward head posture. They're both two of the same issues, okay? So when you're rounding your upper back in front of that computer like this, what do you think happens next? The head follows. Wherever the body goes, the head will follow. And this is why so many guys, especially gamers, they have rounding of the upper back, and then they have that hillbilly neck popping out. The way to correct this is, number one, by working on the upper back. That is the root cause behind all of these issues. A good way to do this is by stretching it out. You know, there's tons of mobility drills that exist. There's lots of guys who specialize in the department. You know, I would encourage you to check out Recognition Athletics because he has really good content regarding upper back stretching. But that's the first thing you have to start doing. Stretch out your thoracic area so that you can correct the root cause, right? Once you have the upper back nice and loose, it's time to build the upper back with a multitude of different rows, right? If you're one of those guys who benches constantly, where you're constantly doing horizontal presses and you're not doing any pulls to complement it, you're going to have thoracic rounding of the upper back. And the result is that the forward head posture will be accentuated. So you need to correct that first with a multitude of different rows. In particular, 2-to-1 ratio. That's right. For every press that you do, you should do 2 rows ahead of that. Now, I know some guys are going to say, well, Alex, shouldn't you just do 1-to-1 for every press you do a row? That usually works, but in the cases of guys who have problems, I say 2-to-1. For every press you do, you want to complement that with a row. That's the first thing you got to correct, right? Secondly, stretching. You have a neck that is hypertonic in the back. Your neck, you're constantly in the extended position, so you need to stretch that out. Best way to do it, here's how you do it. Right now, you're here, right? Take your thumb, place it right here on like your upper collarbone area, and then put it right on your chin, and then suck it in. See this distance right here? That's the distance of your forward head posture. So you need to correct that by doing these isometric drills every single day. I recommend you hold this flexed position for about 20 to 30 seconds. And you can do 3 revolutions of this twice a day, every day, doesn't really matter. Secondly, you want to take your hands, put them on top of your head, and stretch out this way. That's going to eliminate tightness over here. So stretch out this way, stretch out that way, stretch out that way, stretch to the left, stretch right, and do a multitude of different rolling, right? That's the most important thing you can do. And then finally, you want to develop the front of your neck. Right now, the back of your neck is overdeveloped because you're constantly in neck extension. You're always in this, the hillbilly effect. The way to correct that is by doing the neck curl. So what you're going to want to do is take a plate, put it on top of your forehead, and start doing the neck curl whenever you go to the gym, right? Try to build up to an insane amount of strength. You can still do neck extension if you choose to, but try not to go as heavy because right now you have a muscular imbalance. The back of your neck is way overdeveloped in comparison to the front. So you need to focus a lot on the neck curl exercise, whatever variation it may be, right? And that in itself should correct the muscular imbalance from front to back. You should no longer have that popping head forward posture. It should be nice and even with an even upper back to go with it, right? Remember, thoracic rounding is coupled with the neck going forward. And then when your neck goes forward, you develop a lot of other issues like I just discussed. So that's how you correct front to back. To fix side to side, it typically comes from, again, the same issue. Most guys who are in front of the computer, it's going to be a little bit to the side. One part of their neck is going to be a little bit more twisted. The result is that you have muscular imbalances. I remember when I was a kid, I used to have this issue. Whenever I would go on slides and there would be too vast of an impact on my neck, I'd end up here. I'd have a zinger, and I'd be in this position for several days. Sometimes I'd have to skip school as a kid. And I noticed that as I got older, the problem only got worse, especially when I was doing a lot of gaming and I started lifting. I would get head pains, I would get headaches. It was never really a nice thing. And the only way that I was able to correct this was with direct neck work. Now, a lot of guys who do their neck training are further contributing to this muscular imbalance. I'm going to demonstrate this right now. As you can see, I am now wearing a head harness. This is the Iron Mind head harness, which is the best on the market for lifting heavy weights, right? Now, you see the little logo in the center? Lots of guys with their cheap head harnesses, they're doing this. The logo is offset. So what happens when you're hanging a weight? You can see it, can't you? the head harness is tilted a little bit to the side. So every time you do a neck extension, you're going to actually end up in this position here, right? The result is that one side of your neck becomes hypertonic. So the way that you fix this is center it out. Center it out, and most importantly, focus on correct form. Make sure that you're not going to the sides when your neck extend. You want to be perfect, straight up and down. Even slow down your tempo if you have to. Use a light weight if you have to. It could be 25 pounds. It could even be 10 pounds. It could even be 5 pounds. Start extending up and down perfectly even, and with time, that will correct the muscular imbalance. It's the same problem that guys have when doing the bench press. They lower one side quickly, then they have one peg that's bigger than the other. Dumbbells, in most cases, will not fix the problem. You just have to lower the weight a little bit and do it with perfect form. Make sure every side is being even. Same thing for the back side of your neck. If you flip this guy around, see the weight is pulling behind me, and I can do the neck curl. You want to make sure that it's leveled off. The center should be leveled. It should not be to the side. Otherwise, you're going to end up here, and now you're developing one side more than the other, okay? So again, make sure everything is leveled and that you do it with perfect form. Slow it down a little bit, squeeze the muscles, make sure that you're not moving more to one side. And of course, the same thing will apply to straight weight neck exercises. When you do the lying neck curl, don't curl to the sides, okay? Make it straight up and down, right? For the back side and the front side. Once you have that down, that should immediately fix the left to right imbalances. Now, to further amplify the effect, I would also recommend that you throw in some side neck work in there too. Again, it's not going to fix the root cause if you're doing the neck curl, neck extension a little bit to the sides, but it will help you if you have a muscular imbalance. So I definitely recommend that you get over on a bench, put a plate, and then start extending your neck, all right? You could even do it with the head harness with bands. I mean, check out the video I did with Scott Herman Fitness about optimal neck training, and that should give you some ideas there in terms of side neck work. But yeah, that's really all you have to do in terms of correcting the imbalance. It comes from a multitude of different factors, mainly from postural problems. And then when you start training it, you reinforce these bad habits, but it can be corrected fairly easily. Front to back, it's just you stretch out the upper back, you work on the upper back, you do a lot of neck flexion instead of neck extension. And then side to side, you just have to focus on correct form. You know, don't be twisting to the sides when you do it. Do a little bit of side work in there too. And then the stretching, that's all. If you do all these things, I believe your neck imbalance will be corrected, which will mean that your headaches will go away, your neck pains will go away, and you'll feel a lot stronger and you'll look better too. You look a lot better when your shoulders are nice and back and you have that nice neck that's not popping all the way forward, right? Or overdeveloped on one side and you have that crooked neck all the time. I don't think that's an enjoyable way to live, right? So hope you enjoyed this segment. Hope you enjoyed this Alpha Destiny exclusive. Give me some feedback down below regarding neck training imbalances. And with that, I will talk to you all next time.